Good morning and welcome. Welcome to Modern Leadership Live, where we create collaborative conversations to connect our company culture and our world community. Today, I'm super excited to talk to Tamara Chase. She is the CEO of Chase Roofing, the owner of Shine, and the founder of Emerge. And Tamara is also part of our Women Leadership Power Board of Directors and a fellow superstar activator with Michelle Villalobos. And I couldn't think of anybody better to bring on board as it relates to what we need more now than ever in modern leadership, because Tamara, you are one of the most curious and creative people I know. So welcome, Tamara.
Thank you. Good morning.
So glad to have you and love to hear your insights about what you think the world needs more now than ever as it relates to leadership.
Well, I am so happy to be on here. I'm very humbled and honored. And I love this conversation of leadership. I love that we are physically and literally in the front row seat of the next level of modern leadership. So the paradigms are shifting all around us, and literally we got to see what it was like to be a modern leadership the old way, and we're going to discover to see what it looks like in the new way. So this whole pandemic has really brought out a lot of interesting interesting it's an interesting season of our life, and not many people will ever experience this. So it's really, really wild to be like right in the middle of it in this like big, huge sacred pause that just lets us really discover what's going to work in the next level of leadership. So I love this conversation because it's like an opportunity to really think about what's working and what isn't. And when I stop and think about what works the most for me is being curious, and is never thinking you've learned it all, and constantly being the student, and realizing that the whole world is really our teacher. So part of that is listening to yourself and really tapping into like slowing down and tapping into what does my heart say about this, and what does my gut say about this, and combine that in with the intellectual knowledge that we're learning, but really just combining all those three things, and just really being able to tap in and thinking like, what is here in front of me going to teach me, and how can I take this information and help it gather, help it like feed your vision, and then take the rest of the team and get them on board with your vision, and go. So I love the concept of really just like really tapping into what is this trying to show me now. And sometimes it's often not what we think it's going to be at the beginning. It's often developing before our very eyes, and having to be able to keep up with that and tap into it.
I love that, so that you tied that together. What you tied together so beautifully is that you said the sacred pause, and the pandemic, what is really teaching you is to take a moment and tap into your heart, your head, and your gut, and look at everybody as a teacher. And that really just snaps the ego right out of it, doesn't it? Like, I don't have to have all the answers, which is
Nope.
the old paradigm. The old paradigm is I'm
Yeah.
the leader. I have to know. I have to, push and forage through, and I must have loyalty from everyone, and I must have followers, right? If I'm a leader, I must have followers, and that whole power
Exactly.
over. When you're approaching it the way you are, which is checking in and being aligned with yourself, then you're able to co-create with others. That is such a more powerful place to create from.
Mhm.
Wow,
It is.
here, I love it. Can you imagine the world really being changed by the pandemic? I mean, it's a horrible thing. People passed away. We know
It is.
that every time we walk out the door, we don't know, right? And so we face that. And I love how you're able to even co-create with something that's seemingly could be so debilitating, or at least causing so much emotion. And I love that you're creating with it. I love it. What do you think are like some of the more ways that people could tap into the lessons learned from around being around them? Like let's just go there with finances. Let's say that, a lot of people's finances were impacted by this. I know all of us were. What's one way that I could look at, maybe like a financial projection or something that, maybe my team, I'm working with them on something and they keep, there's a pattern that I'm trying to break. Like, what's a way that I can be more curious about that? Like, how can I really go deeper with that concept?
I would say listening. So, so what they're really saying when people are going through crazy stuff, finances is a big one. So like finances isn't enough to, take home with you, and it affects your life at home, and affects, your relationships, all of them. So what are people trying to say when they're going through an experience could be the underlying thing of what they're not able to say. So really trying to dig in and see where they're at, and what they're trying to say. So they may just be scared, or they just may be just petrified of what's going to happen. They don't know what's going to happen, and the uncertainty of it all. So really, I think like listening and really trying to dig out like where do they need support is one of the biggest ones, because then you can like you said, create. You can go through something together, instead of one person's just like, you know freaking out because they've got all this other stuff going on, and in the reality they really need to focus on that stuff first, and then you can start focusing on the finances, or whatever the big
Mm.
issue is. So
Wow, Tamara. So if I'm really deeply listening, I'm tapping into what is this person valuing? Where are they stuck? What questions can I ask them that'll help them move forward? Sounds like,
right.
yeah, that's fantastic. Wow, Tamara, that's so good. I love it. All right, cool. We have time probably for one more question. What do you think is a bold prediction for modern leadership in the future? What do you see the world doing more now? What do you think is going to be even more needed as we continue to face the future?
I would say connection is going to be which is interesting, because we're in a situation where we're physically not near people, but we're still figuring out how to be connected, and it will continue. So I really feel like connecting and really being able to listen and understand what they're trying to do as well. So like I know a lot of employees, one of their biggest thing is they just want to feel appreciated, and they want to feel like they belong and they're part of something.
Yeah.
So, corporations are going to have to shift to that, and get caught up that, people are not just numbers, and they're not just something for you to get an end mean. They have feelings, and they care about what they're doing. And I say that the majority of people nowadays are really they're really interested in being the best they can when they show up. So I think figuring out this connection is going to be the biggest next.
Yeah, especially in a virtual world, right? Like before the pandemic, there was employee engagement, employee retention were really hot topics, and
Yeah.
so now even with the virtual world, how can we build in more connection
Mhm.
and collaboration, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Tamara. Thank you for joining us. And you'll see Tamara's links in the description. Chase Roofing, Emerge is a fantastic nonprofit, and also Shine. It's the time and season for Shine, so go check it out. Thanks, Tamara.